So today I'm here with my good friend RD. Nice to see you, brother.
Good to see you, brother.
Really appreciate you having me here.
Of course, my pleasure.
I know that you're a busy person. You got a lot going on, always up and down, and you know it means a lot to me for you to be able to sit down with me and everything. And
of course.
I want to say this is not a podcast. This is not anything more than just two old friends who have done business together, and now I have just recently joined your mentorship program.
Yes, sir.
And I kind of wanted the opportunity that you're giving me right now to kind of sit down and just kind of tap in a little bit more of like, I wanted to start off with like how we met, and I'm not sure if you remember, it was with JP. And I kind of wanted to start off first because I remember when Armin from JP Logistics told me to come down that you had a car that needed to be done.
Was that the P1?
It was the LaFerrari, the yellow one.
Oh, the yellow one,
Drake.
yes.
Yeah. And
I bought that car from Drake.
Yeah, and I remember when he told me to come down, he was like, hey, whatever you do not tell this guy no. I swear to you, that's what he told me.
I love
He's
that.
He's like, whatever you do not tell this guy no. And I was like, well, who is he, bro? Because he would always shoot me all these kind of high-end celebrities and everything. I'm like, is he like an actor like this? He's like, nah, bro, just do not tell him no. So I'm like, you know me, bro. Like, I'll work, I told him. And then so like I'm heading out, and I think it was like 5, 6 o'clock, and he's like, just go to the montage. Just go over there, ask the front, you know, the valet, ask them that you're there for RD, and he'll come down and, you know, you'll touch bases with him. And I remember you came down and everything, and you walked down and you were like, yo, what's up, bro? And we went down and the LaFerrari was there. You told me what had to be done. And I don't remember who it was from the hotel, but they're like, hey, you can't spill water here. You know what I mean? And I was like, fuck, you know? And I was like, all right, I got to figure something out. So I had one of my guys go run, get a mat. And I was like, listen, as long as I put a mat and I suck up this water, is that cool? Because I need to take care of this guy. Like, I got certain instructions and I need to execute. And they were like, yeah, don't trip. It's cool. You know what I mean? So we did that and everything. But can I just tell you, man, my first, like, we got a lot of people that know how to take care of people. But one thing that my team remembered about you, that till this day they talk, that you're just like, you took care of everybody, man, your hospitality and everything. And everybody was like, who is this guy, man? And ever since then, man, we like, you know, I did my research of who you were, and, you know, it's been nothing but growth since then. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate that first time you gave us the opportunity, you know. I know that if we've grown and, you know, for the most part, we're still in the same circle, but in different levels, you know. But I guess my question to you is like, from that moment that we met a few years ago till now, like, what do you think has been the biggest contribution to your growth in your company and yourself and all that?
You know, that's a great question. And thank you for having me today. You know, it's funny how life works. You know, we started out, we met off of a referral, you know, which goes back to your network. And people say, oh, why would you invest in coaching, or why would you invest in your network? Because that's why we're here today. Because I called JP Logistics, who I love, those guys over there, move all my cars. They called you and said, hey, I've got a client for you. You came down and have been taking care of me and my cars for, you know, many, many years. And we've done deals together even after that. You know, we've purchased cars from clients, and we've continued to grow. And look where we've come from, and look where we've got to where we're at today. You can see the growth. And both of us, you lost 40 pounds. I lost 40 pounds. We're both signed up with Wes.
Yeah.
You know, he's both of our mentors. Why? Because we're trying to better ourselves. We're trying to better our mindset. We're trying to better our network. We're trying to better our health. We're trying to better our fitness. And it's funny because we're both on the same journey. And I think that's why we get along so well together, is because we're both entrepreneurs. We both don't have no in our vocabulary. We'll do whatever it takes for clients. I've called you at some crazy times, and you've dropped everything and come over and detailed 5 or 6 cars, you know, for video shoots or last minute requests. And you always go above and beyond. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're able to gel so well, is because we've always had that mindset of taking care of people.
Yeah, I agree. And that's one thing that, so when you spoke at the Driven Bootcamp, whenever I go to any of these events, I don't try to take 100 notes. I don't try to implement everything that I hear. I just want 1 or 2 things that's going to change my life, you know what I mean? And implement that. And one of them was your speech. I recorded your whole speech. I don't record whole speeches. Like I'll record here and there. I recorded everything because I had never heard you speak, but I've always admired you. So I never knew your backstory. So I knew you were going to tell us how it all started. And for those who haven't heard it, I mean, I wish we had enough time to go through it all, but shit, is it phenomenal, man, and inspiring. For the simple fact that the hospitality and how you take care of people has gotten you to where you're at. And a lot of people that I've seen in the car industry don't like to get their hands dirty at a certain point. And you're just somebody who is always there to serve, always there to deliver, always there to go over and beyond. And I remember the first time when you text me to one of your clients with Travis, and you're like, hey, I need you to go to Travis, and you connected me on a 3-way. And when I went on there, you know, normally I try to impress a client and say, hey, who I am, so they feel comfortable, especially when they're a high profile client. He's like, bro, if RD sent you, nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters.
And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's relationship right there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And I think that goes back into what you were saying on how we met. And I was a referral through JP. And then I was able to refer you to Travis Barker, right?
Yeah,
Travis Barker,
yeah.
You know, drummer, probably the biggest drummer in the world, one of the nicest and, you know, most humble guys, client of mine I've ever worked with. You know, God is great, and it just opens up doors. God opens up doors for us to meet people, and that is, who would have thought, from you coming to take care of one of my vehicles, that you would be dealing with a you know, the biggest drummer in the world. But that's how networking works. That's how, you know, betting on yourself works. That's how leveling up your surroundings and your mindset work. You know, and that's what it's all about. And for me, you know, I always knew that I wanted to be around people that were successful. You know, Travis, Jamie, Drake, all of these artists, Bezos, Zuckerberg, all of these artists and entrepreneurs, you all want to take a little bit from each person and try to be like them of their great parts. And you want to become great. Like you show me your friends, you show me your future. I think it's super important because of the network. Just how I was a referral, from Armin at JP. I referred you over to, you know, Travis Barker, one of the biggest drummers in the world. And then he referred you to Courtney from the Kardashians, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And,
you know, the rest is history. But I think that's the most important thing. I wrote something in our Telegram this morning, you know, visibility is your responsibility.
Yeah.
If you're not visible or you're not networking, people aren't going to do business with you just because they don't know about you. Right?
Right.
Like Brad Lee says, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. So I think all these little things are super important, and you have to be very good at each one, you know, because they lead into more business.
Do you think that people are just not patient enough and they want it now? They want instant gratification? Is that what it is?
I think so. And I think sometimes people just don't understand it. Yeah. They may see us and they think, oh man, you guys have, you know, just ended up in Beverly Hills, or you just started detailing LaFerraris, but they don't know that we've been at this for 20 plus years, you know?
Yeah.
They don't know that we've been working on our health and fitness, you know, relentlessly to get results. They don't know that this mission of life is an everyday challenge. And every single day, you have to take one step to be better. And that's the key.
So let me ask you, because obviously you're somebody who's very busy and all that, and going back into your coaching program, it's not like it's going to make you a millionaire, and it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work. You're obviously doing it for more of a purpose than just, you know what I mean? What exactly is that purpose that you're doing it for? For individuals like myself, because like, look, you even said to yourself, hey, I have sit downs that I've gotten 50 racks for something like 100%. This. You know what I mean? And here you are. You know what I mean? And we're sitting down, you're taking out of your day and everything. And like, you're, in a sense, giving me some mentorship right now as we speak. Why? Like, why do it?
I mean, you know, it's Eric Spotford just called me, you know, during the intermission, right? This guy sold his company for $115 million. He just called me. I put you on FaceTime with him. The guy is one of my friends and one of my mentors. I call this guy every day to ask him stuff. He doesn't have to talk to me. He could say, hey, you got to, do this through, the proper channels. But he enjoys, I think the same thing that I enjoy is I've been coaching people my entire life. Friends that have been in jail, have gone to prison, have struggled with drugs and alcohol, have, had to deal with, broken home situations. I've been helping people my entire life. I've been through a lot myself. So whenever I have the opportunity, it just comes natural to me just to share what I've been through. Because if one person can take anything from what I say and can help better themselves, could be a game changer, And for me, that's everything. It's not about the money, and money is easy to make. It's about the potential of helping somebody. Like when I finished with the Driven event, and I was talking to you the whole time, you were sitting in the front row, and I was thinking to myself, wow, look how far we've come. We could have been on drugs. We could have been in alcohol. We could have been in on drinking or in jail or the wrong choices. Yeah. But we were there on a Sunday. I'm speaking. You're attending. Yeah. But we're from the same circle. I didn't know you were going to be there, right? You didn't know I was going to be there. And we're there together trying to better ourselves. Yeah. It was just like, wow, something went off. Something went off, and it was like, now is the time. When I finished speaking, a girl came up to me. She gave me a hug. She broke down, started crying. Hysterical. She said, I just wanted to let you know I was about to give up. On my way here, I was about to give up. I didn't want to do this anymore. And she goes, the story and the inspiration that you just told gave me hope. And I gave her a big hug, and I said, you know what? It's a fight. I said, every day it's going to be a fight, but you're a fighter and you got this. It's a dog fight. Being an entrepreneur is a dog fight. Getting up every day, going to the gym, it's a dog fight. It's not going to be easy, but you can do it. And the girl just looked at me sobbing in tears, and she goes, thank you. I needed that. It just giving me goosebumps right now.
That's sick.
She goes, I needed that.
That is sick. And honestly, when you got off of stage, I was like, shit. Like, you think you know somebody, right? Yeah. And you think, you base obviously social media and everything. And, I've had some relationship with you, but like never that intimate, even though I felt like you were talking to me the whole time. You know what I mean?
I was, because, I gave you a lot of shout outs during my speech, because it's facts of what we've done. The reason why I was talking to you and looking at you and bringing you up during the Driven event is because everybody was at that event to network and to learn something and meet people. And it's funny because I met you and I was able to do deals with you and purchase cars from clients that work with you. And so the whole point of going to these Driven events is to what? To meet people, to learn something, to grow your network. And so when I saw you sitting there and I thought about, this deal that we may have done, or one of the cars that we may have bought from one of your wealthy clients, you never know who you're going to meet and what deals or relationships you may build. Look at us today. I didn't have the showroom. You didn't have your facility. Yeah. We were both not in as good a shape as we are now, or mentally sharp as we are now. And we both have made so much progress. So to see you there and to me be there as well, even the day before when I was sitting right next to you on the first row taking notes, I didn't even have a ticket. I was like, you know what? I'm coming Saturday. Yeah. I want to hear all of these people. I want to hear Alex and Eric and Wes and learn something from those guys and be around greatness, because that's how you get to advance.
And that's one thing that I noticed about you is that I was like, wait, I didn't know RD was speaking today, but it wasn't that. You came there for that reason, to learn from others.
I came there for that reason. And I said that during the speech. I said, look, guys, like I was here all day yesterday. You guys all saw me yesterday. A lot of speakers come, they leave, do their thing, they're out. Cool. But a lot of my team and my mentors were like, yeah, I want to go. We're going to go listen to this person. We're going to go check this out. We're going to go network. Want to give value, but we also want to learn something.
Right.
Take a little bit from each person, like you said, and you build something great.
And you know what was, I guess, when you've given people advice, right? Like you've given me advice,
Sure.
You continue to give me advice. Do you also pay attention and you're like, when people waste your time and don't take action with that? And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it all depends on the relationship, you know, because I've given a lot of advice to a ton of people, and sometimes it doesn't work out, you know. Yeah. The person's got to want to change and progress, you know, and get to the next level.
People think that when you're wealthy, when you're an actor, when you're a musician, when you do all that, and you're around them all, and I could be wrong, but they think like they don't work as hard as they used to get there. Now, I haven't been around those kind of individuals as much as you have in the relationship. Can we tap into that from when you seen it firsthand? Do they work just as hard?
They're the hardest working people I've ever been around.
Really?
The hardest. Jamie Foxx, one of the hardest working people I've ever been around. Kim Kardashian, one of the hardest working people I've ever seen. Travis Barker. I mean, this guy will train, you know, go to the office in his studio, and he will be there all day, sometimes until the next morning. Future is one of those people. He comes to town, you know, one of the biggest recording artists in the world. He goes to the studio, and he's there for days at a time, and they're in there working. These people's artists and talent and super successful people, they put in the work. They're all very, very, very consistent. Their consistency is like no other. They are unbelievable. I've seen Jamie. I was with Jamie, you know, finishing a movie. He finished the movie. We went to Miami. We flew to Dublin, Ireland together. He filmed an entire season of a TV show. And then he flew to France and we went to the film festival. And then he flew to Greece to shoot another movie. Shit. And then he flew back to film another movie. And I've never seen, you know, these talented people all have one thing in common. Their drive and work ethic is unmatched. It's urgency. No shit. They have urgency. One thing in common you'll see of all super successful people is urgency. Time kills deals. These people are efficient with their time. They're very good with their time, and they have urgency. Urgency.
Damn. And who would you say, like, aside from, you know, because you have a tight relationship with Jamie Foxx, who would you say is like two other people that have just like genuinely just blowing you away with their work ethic and just how incredible they are as entrepreneurs?
Like I said, I mean, Future is a good one. Mayweather is a good one.
Yeah, I've seen Mayweather.
Yeah, Mayweather is a good one. I mean, This guy is a workaholic. He is a workaholic. He works nonstop, 24/7. If he's not working out and training for, you know, his next big fight, he's working on deals, and he's always in the gym. That's why he's the best fighter in the world, because his workouts are the hardest workouts in the world. During the McGregor training camp, you want to listen to this one, with him during the entire training camp. If you go back and you look at that fight, if you look in the ring, I'm actually in the ring during that fight. I walked out with him and I was in the ring the entire time, which was incredible. So one day he says, hey, RD, I'm going to take you to LA with me and I'm going to shoot Jimmy Kimmel and James Corden. So I want you to go with me. I'm taking my girlfriends and one security guard. So I said, okay, Badu, and I think Ray, 2 security guards, his girlfriend's assistant, Kichi, God rest her, and myself. He trains 8 hours. 8 hours. And he's like, come on, let's jump in the plane. So now after training 8 hours, we fly here. First stop, Jimmy Kimmel. We're on the lot of Jimmy Kimmel. We get stuck in the elevator.
What?
Yes, we're in the elevator for an hour. Floyd has an iPod, old school one, but diamond encrusted with diamond encrusted earphones. I'm like, yo, champ, we're stuck in the elevator. Doesn't even break a stride. Just listen to his music, laughing. I'm like, we're going to be here for a second. Doesn't even care. Doesn't even break his... Nothing. Like, nothing happened. They let us out of the elevator. We go on Jimmy Kimmel. He hits it out of the park. Jimmy says, dang, Floyd, you got a good smile. Floyd says, well, I try not to get hit. He says, that is crazy. Crowd goes crazy. Jimmy shows a picture of Floyd with a bunch of money on an airplane, like $5 million. He said, Floyd, how much money is that? He says, it's about $5 million. He says, where'd you get that, from the ATM? Crowd goes crazy. He goes, no, you actually call the bank and you place the order and they bring it to you in a Brinks truck. He goes, really? He goes, man, you should have a Brinks truck. He goes, I do. He goes, I call the bank. I tell them to bring me $5 million. They get the $5 million together and they deliver it the next day. It's like, wow. So he does the Jimmy Kimmel interview, which is great. You should watch it. Hits it out of the park. Now we go to James Corden. So now we've done one talk show. We flew from Las Vegas and he trained for 8 hours. James's people come in, they start talking to him. And they're like, Floyd's like, just get out. I go outside, I'm talking to the producers. I said, listen, this guy's training for the biggest payday of his career. If you have a question, just ask him. They said, well, where's the manager? And Floyd points at me and he says, him, talk to him. I'm looking around, I'm like, who, talk to me? I said, champ, what do you want me to tell him? He said, tell him whatever you want to tell him. You're the manager today. I go out there and I said, look, you can ask him any question you want. There's no questions off limits. Let's just get this on the roll. So he does James Corden. Now it's getting late. Does 2 talk shows, trains 8 hours. It's like 1 a.m. now. Well, I was driving a 6x6 Mercedes at the time, the white one.
I remember.
So he's like, man, I'm a little tired. Can we stop and get a Mountain Dew? I'm like, yeah, for sure. So we pull in the gas station, get a Mountain Dew. We hop on the plane. We fly back to Vegas. I'm exhausted. I'm like, it's like 3 in the morning now. I'm like, champ, that was some of the most fun I've ever had. I've been to Tokyo with this guy, Singapore, Macau. I've been everywhere with him. I've learned so much from him. One of my, best friends and mentors. I said, thank you for that. I had a really good time. Thanks for letting me be part of something so great. Such a big fight. Two of my favorite talk shows. Thanks for letting me tag along. I appreciate it. I get in my car, give him a hug. I head to my hotel. I pull into my hotel. We are all in a group chat. They write in the group chat. I look at my phone. It says, come to the gym. Floyd's about to train.
What?
I called Kichi, God rest her. I said, is this for real? They're like, yeah, and you better be there. He knows if you're there or not. I'm like, man, I'm exhausted. So he trained for 8 hours, flew to LA, did two talk shows, flew back to Las Vegas, landed, and went and trained again. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go. So he trains again. After he trains again, I'm like, man, now I know what it takes to be the best in the world. Consistency, dedication, and hard work. And I got to see it firsthand from the biggest athlete in the world. After he finished training, I was in the car with him going back to his house. And he's like, oh, what size shoe are you? And I said, I don't know, 8.5, 9. Because I was dressed like I came from the talk show still. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay. He goes, great, we're the same size. And I'm looking at him like, man, I'm going back to the hotel. He says, no, we're about to go run.
No way. What time is this?
It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Shit. I'm like, champ, I'm exhausted. He's like, oh no, I'm going to go for a run. You're going to come with me. I still have these Air Max to this day, the gray ones with the green bottoms. He gave me the brand new. This guy has brand new everything everywhere. He gives me shorts, shoes, and a shirt. And he's like, "Come on, let's go." He goes, "The key is not running fast. He goes, you just got to get moving." So I'm like, okay. So we leave his driveway at his mansion, and he's got like 17 Rolls Royces behind us.
Wow.
All with the hazards on. It was me, him, and one of his girlfriends that was in really good shape. So the girlfriend dropped out, and I wasn't obviously keeping pace with him, but I was going. I was like, this is my one time in the world I'm going to be able to run with the best boxer in history. Of course I'm going to do it. I haven't told anyone this story. This is great. So now I'm like, all right, let's go. Now up his driveway is like uphill, super, super difficult. And he's like, come on, you don't got to run fast. Just got to keep moving. So I'm like, man, now he's like on the main streets. All the Rolls Royces are following him. I'm way, way behind. I made it to like the 2 mile mark. He had ran 7 miles and already finished and got in the car and came back and picked me up.
No fucking way.
Yeah. And then we went to McDonald's and we went to the drive-thru, and I'm sitting in the front seat of the Rolls, and I'm like, champ, what do you want? He's like, give me 2 Chick-fil-A or 2 filet of fish and 2 large fries and like a Coke. And I'm like, man, champ, shouldn't we be eating something different? He goes, man, I trained so hard. I burned so many calories. I need the calories.
Wow.
And we went to McDonald's. And I was like, you know what? I am done. He's like, nah, come back to the house. I'm like, man, I can't. But I saw why he was so successful. His work ethic was unmatched. 2 workouts, a run, 2 talk shows, 2 states. I said, I know today why he's the greatest. I always knew, but now I got to see it firsthand right by his side. So we go upstairs. He goes, man, go in my room. There's a bunch of boxes down there in my room. Bring him downstairs. I'm like, okay. I run upstairs. I'm like, man, I'm dying to get out of here, champ. I want to shower. I'm tired. He's like, hey, just go up there. I go up there. It's a box from Hublot. If you remember, Hublot sponsored him during this fight.
Yeah.
Hublot was on the front. If you look back, it's on the front of the shorts. They gave him 50 Big Bang Hublot watches. And I think like $20 million. So the FedEx came with all the watches. So not only did I get to see what kind of work ethic he had, now you get to hear a little story about what type of person he is. He says, go give me that box. So I run upstairs, I grab the box, I bring it downstairs. He opens the box, he says, you see these watches? He says, these are all Big Bang Hublot watches. He goes, I want you to gather everybody up, and we're going to give everybody a brand new Big Bang Hublot watch. And when I tell you everybody, he gave everybody a brand new Big Bang watch. Drivers, assistants, security, everybody. And I was like, man, this is incredible. And that was, one of the times where I got to see like, wow, hard work, dedication, consistency. This is a prime example of someone who's super successful that puts in the work.
Right.
He's already retired. He's already worth $1 billion. He doesn't have to do that type of fight. Yeah, he made $400 or $500 million, smart, but he doesn't ever have to work again. But he was training like he was training for the biggest fight of his life.
That is nice.
The sound, Mike.
That is nice. Do you feel that he tested you that day? And
no, not at all. No.
You think that's just him, and you're coming along with me? Type of deal?
Yeah. No, it was no test at all. That's just champ. That's just how he is.
But do you think, like, when you get put in positions like that, because I've found myself whenever I've been around high individuals, like they want to see who I am and how I carry with them and all that. Do you feel like they just want to see if, like, Do you think it's just part of it and see, hey, how bad does he want it, or the influence or anything? What do you think he wanted to show you in that moment?
At that point, we had already been friends for so long.
Okay.
So it was just like a normal day.
Gotcha.
It just happened to be before McGregor, the McGregor fight.
Right.
Which was on my birthday. It's like a field trip. I call them Floyd trips. It's a Floyd trip. That's what it is.
That is.
We had already been through so much, together as friends over the years. That was just another day. That's a normal day. That was a normal day. You got to remember, he's been doing stuff like that for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Operating at such a high level. This guy made his first million, I think when he was 18.
No shit.
Yeah. He bought himself out of his contract, too.
Really?
Oh, yeah. This guy's a savage businessman. Savage.
Yeah. He's definitely somebody that I've admired. And honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, man. Like, I look at you like that, RD, because you can only know so much from somebody, right, on social media. But at the same time, you also hear a lot. And we're not too far from each other. And it's just like, just your work ethic, and then hearing your story, and then just sitting here with you and just seeing everything you build is just freaking crazy, man. It's just freaking crazy, And the one thing that I got from you from that event at the Driven, it was like, your network is your net worth. And I was just like, there fucking is.
Your network is your net worth.
You know what I mean? And do you feel that when people hear stuff like that, they think there's more to it, or you're not telling them everything? Because sometimes it's so simple, but it works.
Some people understand it. Some people don't. Some people get it. Some people don't. Old cowboy told me, some horses you can train, some horses you can't. And it's just like, if you want to do better, wouldn't you want to surround yourself with people that are doing better?
Absolutely.
It's the key. The key is your network. If your network of people are doing better than you are, you're going to start doing better. If your network of people are doing the same that you are, you're going to be the same. If they're doing worse than you are, you're going to start doing worse. I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way. Then I started to really be strategic while I hang around people like Noah and people on my team that are successful, college educated, good family, Rolex. It came like this.
Yeah.
I want to be around people like that. I want to be around people like this. Like this. We all have something in common. We all want to do better. We all want to be successful. We want to be around successful people. So sometimes people say, oh, your network is your net worth, is that cliche. But at the end of the day, it's all who you know.
Yeah.
If you can get somebody on the phone to do a deal that's in your network, that's how we make money. That's how we survive. The bigger your network, bigger opportunity is,
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that I know was in the first power call. When was it? This last couple days ago?
I like that power call.
We
need that.
Yeah. That's why. I don't know if you saw it. I tagged you and I put first power call, and people were like, "What? What happened? What is this? What's going on?" And people are DMing me. But here's the crazy part. I hop on. I didn't know that you were gonna have a special guest. Well, I don't even think you knew you were gonna have him on.
I didn't.
Keep, right?
I didn't.
Like, and then he was on there, and I'm like, what's going on here, dude? Like, you had some high level individuals in there. And the cool thing is that you allowed us to ask him a question.
Of course. And
then my question to him was like, who are the people that you hang around with, right? Because everybody starts off somewhere, somehow. Especially if you're not born into money, normally, like at least for myself, you come from the hood and all that, right? 100%. But as you start leveling up, you tend to understand that you can't take everybody with you. And I think that was my question to him. My question was, if I remember, was, how do you determine who are the people that you keep around, and what are the standards that you have for them? And I think he started to answer, but you also took over and you were like, listen, like, you got to be careful. My question from that is, what about yourself? Like, how is it that you've been able, how do you distinguish now, who do you keep into your circle? Because you're always leveling up, right? And does your team have to, and everybody around you have to keep up with you?
100%. Everybody has to strive for greatness. Everybody wants to have to be better every single day. These guys will tell you, I push them. I push them hard. I push them hard to the point where they're like, man, this is too much. But the people that push me are the people that made me to what I am today. The people that I got pushed the hardest by, that I was like, man, what am I doing? Is this worth it? All of those little things that I learned from those people that pushed me the hardest took my life to the next level. I look back and I'm like, oh man, thank God for that.
Yeah.
Thank God. My first job, one of my cousins was like, oh, you got to work on Saturdays. I was like, what? Are you crazy? He said, yeah, you got to work on Saturdays. So what do you mean? He said, you got to be in here on Saturdays in the office. I said, no way. He said, for sure, 100%. If you want to be successful, you have to work Saturdays. You have to map out your week. You got to do this, this, and this. You got to put your to-do list together. You got to have it ready to go so you're prepared for Monday. And I was like, no, man, there's no way. But I did. And obviously now I look back at it, and I work every day. Except for Sundays, I try to go to church as much as possible. But learning from people like that, where I thought at times things were tough, made this part of the business a cakewalk.
Yeah.
So I was already doing it.
That's amazing, man. Yeah. That's amazing. And I know you're really busy, and I wanna kind of like close out with this. So
keep going. I'm here. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
So
I got the coffee now.
All right, then you tell me then.
No,
but
we got time.
I
want to give some value,
brother. What another question that I asked? So when we started off the power call, right? I was on there and I was like, so this is how I am. Okay, I'm like, I need to squeeze this lemon because this man has been there. He's where I want to be. He's a perfect example of what an entrepreneur is. He's a perfect leader. He's a perfect friend. He's a perfect, like, I was just like, and my question to you was, and I want to share it with the audience, was that I asked you, like, so I've had a tremendous amount of celebrities that have came and gone and everything, or a Rolodex of people but I've always respected them and intend not to, like, intrude in their privacy and all that. But I also understand that, like, to build a brand and all that, it's also a leverage. You know what I mean? When you build friendships and you don't want to overstep boundaries and stuff like that, like, how does that work? Like, I remember what you told me, but how does that work when somebody wants to build a great relationship with a high profile person, and not just to feel like you're a leech, but at the same time show them, you know what I mean, that you need the help, that leverage, you know what I mean?
It takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes trust. It takes time and it takes trust. Over time, when the trust is built with that relationship, you may have an opportunity to cross collaborate at some point. But it's all about timing. It's all about the trust factor, and it's all about the privacy. And you want to make sure whichever influencer or celebrity or person that you are wanting to collaborate with, is that you have that trust factor, right? We've known each other for, 10 plus years. You said, hey, I need to come to the office or something. I said, please come, whatever it is, let's do it. But we have that trust, and we have that rapport. Yeah, I know that you're a solid stand-up person. I know that you do great business. So if the opportunity presents itself, say if you're taking care of somebody's, Lamborghini, you've known them for a long time, you may say, is there an opportunity, this is not the first, second, or third experience with this person. This is, 10 plus experiences on.
Okay.
Can we do you mind if we grab a photo from my celebrity client list? Not showing their home, not showing their address, just me and you in the car, or just you in the car, or just us, quick photo. 99% of the time, these people are more than willing to help. 99% of the time. And what I like to do is, hey, you know what? The washer detail is on me today. If you could help me with a photo for my Instagram, trying to grow my profile. Like, yeah, sure. These guys everyone is usually pretty cool. It's all about the timing, though.
Got it.
The time has to be right.
Right.
They need to be in a good mood. Everything needs to be aligning. It needs to be, multiple times of dealing with them, and you can work it out. And if it's not the artist or talent or influencer directly, you can try to arrange it with the assistant too.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take care of your car. Is there any way and get a photo for our, for our gram or our profile? Yeah, I'm sure we can figure something out. But you just want to make sure that the trust is there. And then after you have that relationship built, then you can usually ask for something like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely something that I've needed to work on, and I've realized that
don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, that's what
you've never asked. I've known you.
Yeah, I don't.
Super long time.
Yeah.
You've never asked for anything, but it's good marketing.
Yeah.
If people are like, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. I like to keep my cars private. I don't like people to know what I drive. Cool, no problem. Maybe just a picture of you and I together. You just want to. The main thing that you want to keep in mind working with these guys is their safety.
Okay.
Their safety. That's the main thing. That's the main concern. May not be their car. May just want to be a picture of you and them. Just want to make sure that they're safe, they're comfortable, the trust is built, and then you can usually get some type of collaboration done.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely something that I've struggled with, in a sense that I even told myself, like, hey, listen, you're going to keep it professional and all that. But deep down inside, I've always been, you know what I mean? You meet some amazing people, and I've had amazing conversations with individuals, and I've never crossed that boundary. But I've also noticed, like from you, like you said, you got to brand yourself. You got to brand who you know yourself. And all these individuals, because it helps a lot.
It's all marketing.
Yeah.
People want to deal with people like you that have all of these superstar clients, Yeah. It's interesting. It's good marketing. It goes hand in hand. But you got to make sure that the trust is there and the timing is right.
Yeah.
But usually everyone is pretty cool.
Pretty solid?
Yeah.
Okay. And so...
But don't be afraid to ask also.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not. I have long-term relationships with a lot of them. Like,
yeah, you can tell them like, hey, I'm starting to focus on my branding.
Yeah.
And my social media.
I like that when you told me that.
Yeah. I'm starting to focus on my branding and social media. It will help my business tremendously if we could take a photo from my social media platforms that I'm working on, my Instagram, working on the growth. And they'll be like, oh yeah, I get it. Because all these people do that,
Yeah. So RD, going back to, because my number one reason and why I love that I'm here is your coaching program and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What's the ultimate goal? Because I know you just said you just started 75 days ago and 72 days ago, and I counted like, I think it was like over 50 people on this power call.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. I was expecting like a handful. Like, dude, there's all these people that want to learn from you and they want to, seeing that, one, how does it make you feel? And then ultimately, what's your goal with us? Like, what should I expect as a new member 6 months from now? Because 6 months from now, like I was telling Noah, is I want to come back and be like, look, bro, this is where I'm at because of the things that you told me and the actions that I've taken.
100%. We have 140 people signed up, and we had 50 or 60 people in the calls, and we have people in Iceland, we have people in Paris.
I saw that.
We've got people in Nashville, New York, Miami. For us, we're building a community where everyone could go in the Telegram, their chat. We've got a Patek Philippe dealer. We've got some Rolex guys. We have a Ferrari dealer. We have a community that we're establishing of people that are all trying to do better. So 6 months from now, we should look at our short-term goals. We should look at our long-term goals. We should look at our growth on social media. We should look at our marketing plan and be like, wow, we made these adjustments. We've added our celebrity clientele to our page. We were able to grow and collab. We're continuing to kickbox, eat clean, and work out. We're sharpening our mindset. We're getting around people like Wes, yourself, and Eric. And we're taking all of these steps to move to the next level. So 6 months from now, we should all be in a better place. Because why? Because we're striving every single day, every single moment, every single week to get to the next level. But we just have to keep going every day, posting, value, content, nonstop, lifestyle.
I love it. Well, listen, brother, I'm gonna close it out there because I think I came and got so much knowledge, so much information, more than I even thought of, but it's just, I appreciate having me on your team and everything.
Pleasure.
I appreciate having me here at your facility and everything and taking the time. I know your time is valuable, but thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
You got it, dog.
All right, bro. it.